how do you want to run this? Literally, I love what you sent. Like, of course, you're just this absolute, fountain of just, I say like 3 words and you're like, well, here's 16 different examples of me doing that thing. um I tell myself so many times, I'm like, I want to get more prolific with content. I want to get more prolific with like, creating really, I call it kind of like this magnetic energy of very easy to make an offer and that kind of stuff, like you do in your daily emails. And I know, but like I tell myself all the time, I'm like, you're not Jacob. He took years and years to hone. He took years and years to hone. So I'm like, in my mind, I'm like, I'm just 3 months in. So everything I do, it's just throw shit at the wall mode 100% and just test the hell out of it. But
yeah, I mean, I loved the questions and all. I actually was curious. I mean, we could do a bit of ping pong, right? Like take those 2 questions and ping pong them. I know you're up to a lot of stuff and you've got your coffee in hand, coffee chat little thing that I was like curious to hear about. And then it was, what did you ask? Like what's working, what's not working? And then what
you feel like you'll end up doing a lot of in 2026, like is something happened in 2025 that you doubled down on, or something that you've never tried that you're like, this is the year I'm going to go for it,
Yeah.
So why don't you start, like what's coming to mind with any of those?
Yeah, I mean, it's cool that we sort of chat because things change so dynamically, and right from the beginning where my journey was. But since we had a fairly I've picked up dad mode, and dad mode is systems and marketing, right? So
routine.
For me, right now I'm working Monday, Tuesday, Thursday. So Wednesdays are off, Fridays are off. And I really had to be like, what are your values? What is the thing you want to do? And before, like when we were chilling and talking, it was kind of put there, but now the baby's there, it's so much more real. I'm like, I physically cannot be there. So what do you have to do to physically not be there? The one thing I picked from you is the onboarding, right? So like fixed little bits and pieces, but fundamentally the whole model changed because I was like, I need to get someone to say yes even easier than what I currently have. So, I had the emails, I had the content, and I sort of like reconfigured it into that little drawing I sent you on WhatsApp with the triangle, where I was like, okay, so far we're doing content this way, which was, top of the funnel, middle of the funnel, bottom of the funnel, all on LinkedIn. And I had to really sit with that and go, no, if you're running an email a day for the business, top of the funnel has to change. Your LinkedIn has to change, like all your socials have to be top of the funnel only to get people on your list.
Yep.
So the middle of the funnel becomes YouTube and email, and primarily 80% being email.
Yeah. Because of dailies, for anyone who doesn't know who you are, you're literally sending an email every day, right?
Yeah, and I was just like, even though naturally I did a lot of nurture and I sent the email, it wasn't explicit like in my mind that these 2 tools, like you got to go 80% nurture.
Yeah, that was fascinating to me. Yeah, when you sent that little thing, and maybe I'll snip it and we can throw it up. You can throw this on your YouTube, by the way, if you want. If you don't, it's your IP. Yeah. But like we could throw up the graphic you sent, which your remarkable doodle status is getting like, A plus already, which you have no freaking right to be that way, considering you've had it for like less than a year. But anyways, the 15% attract, like the nurture makes sense to me. I'm surprised it's so heavily weighted 80% nurture, 15% attract. Like, the convert, the 5%, it's value ladder stuff where it's like, hey, 90% of people consume the free thing. Next tier is like 8% or 9%, and then 1%'s the high ticket core offer thing. Like that makes sense. But like, can you double click into, because you were not 80% nurture even 6 months ago. So like what changed? Was it literally the dad stuff, or was it something else?
Well, it was literally me sitting, creating space and going, how do you become a dad now? Because like for the first month, I remember we were talking and it was like, I remember the first voice note I sent you, it didn't really clock until the baby actually started having needs and me having to juggle between the worlds. And it was cool, but I was like, I built the brand. I'd have the systems. I just need to like tweak them now. And I had this like moment where I was like, okay, this is, in short, attract, nurture, convert was no longer on one platform. I distributed it into socials to attract. So the main purpose of any social media was right top of the funnel, but not viral stuff, like stories to build resonance and get people in your list.
Yep.
So it doesn't matter whether it's Instagram, LinkedIn, Facebook, whatnot, just get them into lead magnet. So I can write a post a day. I didn't care about the hooks or any of that. It was just the call to action, get in here, crazy good lead magnet, like a 30-page book,
right,
which pre-sells them into the whole thing.
So you're thinking, I want to ask about the book, by the way, but just to like stop you right there, what I'm hearing is you're thinking bottom up, not hook down. You're thinking call to action up. Is that right?
Yeah, because the biggest unlock was, hold on a minute, bottom of the funnel in my world, your world a little bit, is DMs and docs and calls if people take them. Like that is the bottom of the funnel.
Yeah.
If I don't have any of this in place and it's a sales-driven business, then I'm doing a lot of that stuff on the call. So my call is top and middle and bottom. I'm telling the story. I'm building rapport. Then I'm converting them to say yes and get paid.
Yeah.
But if the bottom of the funnel is literally, here's a document you're already pre-sold, and here's like a DM exchange when and if you need it. And I even got rid of the payment link. Like payment link is in the doc or the checkout page or whatever. So the sole purpose of conversion is a checkout page or a document with the payment link on it. So that means I don't even have to send DMs.
Yeah.
And then I went, that is bottom of the funnel. That is, so if that's bottom of the funnel, that's like a little pair of hands, could be automated, could be put in a doc, could be whatever. The DMs could be ManyChat, automated, whatever. So if that's bottom of the funnel, then nurture has to do all of that heavy lifting. So I was like, that's where I had the light bulb. I was like, if social media gets you into the list, now we got to cook the meal, right? And then conversion is just take the meal out of the tray. So how do we cook the meal? On my email, I needed to do the middle of the funnel, but I was like, hold on, my strength is writing stories.
Yep.
So that's not middle of the funnel. That's where YouTube came in. I can like doodle, I can get my remarkable, I can show you the depth and the concepts and take you with me for 20 minutes. Because my biggest strength was workshops, like iPad out, remarkable out, showing you the concepts raw. I was like, aha. So email remains as the resonance piece, like the stories, the things that I say, people get to know me and bring in little models and ideas.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to really convert you. I'm just going to invite you to the doc or the checkout page using. So email became like the remote control in between the worlds. Like, go watch this video, go see this doc, go watch this reel or whatever. So if that's the controller, everything around it are the building blocks. But the building blocks became long form videos where I could deepen that to cook. Yeah. So as soon as YouTube came in and I cooked, they would just come and be like, oh, how do we work together? DM me this keyword on Instagram and I don't actually have to do the conversion.
That's what I like about, because we're doing similar things. Yours is, you have a lot more, I would call it like a body of work, right? Like just depth, like things you can pull from there. A lot of the questions I get from clients is, oh, do I have to invent something new? It's like, well, if you've been doing any sort of content creation or have had any point of view for over a year, there are random things that you have that you can just pull and curate, right? Like packaging and all that. But what I like is kind of this infinity loop with it, because I'm doing the same thing. Is the way I think about it is short form content is to accomplish basically one thing. Can I get a deeper yes for them to spend more time with me? Right. And so, my YouTube has like 4 videos on it right now, but the plan is post weekly or twice weekly, because that's an easy yes. But what you do with that I think is so intelligent, especially moving forward as well. And kind of why I don't want to put words in your mouth, but why you and I would go all in on a YouTube as a long form platform, as an example, is the amount of skepticism and just like ready access to resource that most people are just trying to bypass, like the personal element, the tone of voice, the body language, the courage to just take a random doodle and freaking workshop it. Like one of my favorite creators that Bolton turned me on to that I'm starting to watch is just like Will Brown. And I don't know if you watched it. He was, every single YouTube video is him. The thumbnail is just him sitting with a coffee, and he opens every single video. Hey guys, it's Will. And then he just goes, and it's one take. And it's like, you can't watch any of his videos and think, wow, you're a total scam artist. You know what I mean? It like skips the funnel, and it's just like, here's who I am, take it or leave it, right?
Yeah.
But the I'm going long-winded. The fun thing about it is like the short form funnels to the long form funnels to the DM me back on the short form platform or subscribe to my list. Done.
Yeah, which is so good, because like I reckon when we started it, like engagement was cool, right? Like you get a bit, and at least for me, like I blew up, and I would look back and be like, all these impressions mean jack, but it's not the engagement, it's the consumption. If I can move away from the metrics, that's why it's social media now is like, okay, top of the funnel. If I can get you to just consume, it's no longer the old school way of thinking of like, oh, if they're on my list long enough, they're going to buy. It's like, no, it sort of goes down this rabbit hole of consumption. It goes up a bit, left, right, center, consume, and then buy, versus be on my list for like 8.5 years before you buy.
Well, and it's that concept of bingers or buyers, right? So like, you know, kind of behind the scenes or whatever, you shared your, I think it's a 14-day welcome series for email, right? Yeah. I looked at that and I kid you not, I started writing the emails like in the exact kind of like vein of what you suggested. And then I was like, okay, this works for Jacob. This feels a little bit off for me. And so I scrapped all those and I started like, how would I want to do it? And then basically 15 emails flowed out of me in 2-3 hours, right? But what was the point of that is because I've actually been ideating this type of welcome email series for like 18 months and just couldn't, the energy wasn't there, or couldn't align, or I didn't know what I wanted to say, or I didn't have enough, things to push them to where it finally all matched up. But it's the premise of like bingers or buyers, right? So you could get one email a day, or you could click this link at the bottom of the email and get the next one in 4 minutes, right? It's
which was
so good.
Yeah, and I think what you said there with the flow is awesome, because you sort of listen in on, I mean, for me, the dad thing was a big spark, but I had to sit and really listen. And one thing you say is like, what is in flow? Like, how am I in flow motion here? And I always knew email was my thing, but I went, hold on, there's other bits and pieces I'm not really jamming with for long enough that could make email a remote control. So like you said, the emails didn't have to be 7 pages long. My emails are like 200 words now.
Yeah.
But sometimes they're 30 words and they point you to a long form video. And that's what it's supposed to do. Like, hey, I recorded this, go watch. And then it sends you back, like you said, to Instagram or LinkedIn, or back to another email. And it's funny you say that with the 15 emails. Like for me, because I write daily, it turned out it was too long. People were like, I just want to get his daily stuff. That's what he's known for, or whatever. So then I did another A/B test, and I was like, let's condense those 15 to 4 to get people into the daily, versus someone else who hates email and doesn't ever want to write. Yeah. Then the 15 emails worked like magic. He was like, oh man, all I have to do is bring them in and the engine runs itself. But I think the fundamental that you and I always share, like when we do our jams and just go deep, is, can I use these tools to get someone to consume and binge as much as possible? So that way they don't decide to buy in 3 months. I can condense that in a matter of hours or days, which then led me to go, hold on, I've told my story on YouTube and people contacted. Can I turn that story into a 10-slide carousel pin it to my Instagram?
100%.
Can I then create a book out of it by getting the transcript from YouTube, turning it into a book for the writers who want to read it, and then add links to it? So that little aha moment, which was one video, just like yourself, right? I only had one to begin with. And I don't even know how many hours of watch time, because you just send people to it, became the book, became the start here, pin post, became, multi-platform sort of squiggles and doodles. And then I did exactly the same thing with the model side. Like, oh, here's the resonance. What happens if I take this exact little aha moment and do it on the logic side? So, oh, now they feel warm. Now let's get them to convert, basically cook properly, chickens in, change side, go to relevance. And then that was the model, where I had another video just explaining another little doodle. And that became the second half of the book.
Yeah.
So I was like, oh my God, Descript, AI, output, let it out. I mean, I spent probably 2-3 hours over a few days, because baby and whatnot.
Yeah.
It took longer to find pictures and add links than actually write the book.
Well, here's finish your point, and then I want to ask about the book specifically for sure.
Yeah. And then obviously, like, once you have the structure, I took my time. It took like probably a month, very easily, like an hour a night here and there, to rewrite the bits so it actually had my tone of voice. But the point being, can I cook resonance and relevance? And then all of a sudden people are buying in 24 hours, in 4 hours, in 3 weeks, versus what I had before, which was upwards of 30 to 60 days.
Yeah. And when you say buy, are you saying core offer or just anything?
Buy anything.
Okay, cool. Yeah. I want to ask about the book.
Yeah.
Checking my camera. It's not overheating just yet, so this is good. Right. Don't buy used, people, buy new. Just for the record on that. Anyhow, so with a book, when I'll first said admit, what up, kitty? First admit. Because obviously, we're in each other. We're like orbiting this black hole of gravity, and I see something you do, and then we talk about it. You see something I do, and we talk about it, blah blah blah. And so when you went the book route, which was ironic because I had just written like version 1 of a very short book that was literally, I woke up that day, I had no intention of writing a book. And that was when I was trying to meditate, which I have still not learned, this is not for me just yet, but I meditated, and like, it just kept coming up in that 15-minute meditation of just like book. It was like every 90 seconds, it just kept popping in, and I was like, fuck it. And so I wrote a book in basically like a 3-hour flow state sprint, right? From beginning to end. It was like 6,000 words. I'm like, this is done. Like, this is actually a complete work.
It's pretty good. I had to read.
Oh, did you? Yeah. See here. Well, first of all, I haven't read yours yet. I plan on reading it this weekend. If not this weekend, next week, because I'm traveling, and I'm like, perfect thing to read on the plane. But having not read your book, something that stuck out to me was like, you said, this is going to be a misquote. I'm going to defame you right now. You said something about like AI wrote this or whatever. And now, you just digressing from what you said before, you're like, yeah, I wrote some of it, and then I made it my bits, and then I added images and all that sort of stuff. So like, when I saw you say AI wrote this, I was like, obviously he's going to go the ethical route. Like, he's got so much content out there it can more or less sound exactly like him, because they're just not even hundreds of thousands, like millions of words you've written that you can pull. So I wasn't concerned there. I was curious. I've been waiting for this opportunity to ask kind of the thought process on like, why a book? Was it just a curiosity with AI doing it? Is this something you always wanted to do? How do you feel about the end result? What's been the response? Like, I would love to just get any more information on that.
Yeah, no, this is great. And obviously I didn't, like you rightfully said, I didn't get AI to write the whole thing. What I did was I saw my VSL sort of story/model thing on the YouTube video performed really well. And I was like, naturally, I'm a writer. I'm somebody who expresses themselves in writing. So it was weird for me to have the video take off. It was same room, same setup, raw, no slides, no nothing. So when I took the transcript, I put it into GPT because I was like, I naturally consume on text-based platforms like email, LinkedIn, Facebook. I'm not like a video guy. So I was like, you wouldn't even watch your own video. Create an asset that you would consume.
That's a very good place to start, by the way. Most people don't ask themselves that question enough. They're like, oh, I need to do video. It's like, do you consume video? Like, what do you like?
Yeah. And that was it. Like, it was one take and I never watched my own video back. So I was like, I would flick through my own book. So when I put the transcript through GPT, I asked it to sort of break it down into chapters, like where am I transitioning, what am I talking about, and cut long story short, this is where I said it cooked the chicken on two sides: resonance, relevance. Resonance was my story for 10 minutes, relevance was my model. And one thing I've been really dialing in over time was this whole one offer, one post, one email a day lifestyle. And that was the sort of ethos of the video. So I was like, okay, AI, thank you very much. Next step was I found some like random fitness guy on Facebook who was selling an ebook, giving away one for free. So I randomly downloaded it, had no idea. It was like an ad. Put that through GPT and said, give me the book structure. Like, I don't care. And I haven't read the book. I don't even remember the guy's name. And it said intro, why now, 3 chapters with like sub-chapters and an outro and an appendix. And I went, thank you, AI. This is my structure now. So I fed it my video from YouTube. I fed it this guy's book. Now I had AI telling me this is what you need to record. So I then went on a dog walk and told my story in a voice note for the first bit. Put it through AI and said, does this match the video? You know, it sort of gave me bits and pieces. I said, okay, I want to keep this. I don't want to keep that. I like this. I like that. And just dumped it in a text file. Then I did the same thing with the model. I was like, I'm going to voice note the model. I'm going to cross-check with the video. And it actually found, hey, since that video, you evolved this part and this part. And I was like, oh, yeah, cool. Dump that in a text file. So even though I used AI, I sort of used it as a little helper to help me set it up. And then I looked at it and I was like, obviously, this isn't a model. This is a client getting book. Is it pre-selling enough?
So that's how you saw it. You were thinking more strategic with it from the beginning, right? Like, like assume this, hey, this would get clients.
Yeah, like your book was a lot more, energy and mindset driven and sort of like your own personal take. This was geared exactly towards someone who's going to look at it and go, I have a map now. I know where to go, but I don't know how to get there.
What not how.
What not how. Can I give someone a map? The smart ones will figure it out, and that's okay. Or people who have enough resource and time to go and piece every little bit together. But majorly, it was like everything out there is like hooks and viral guides and like prompts and all this useless stuff. Would I be proud to give this to my daughter, or if I ever had a business partner or something where they looked at that and went, cool, that's what he did. That is the whole philosophy behind this model. And then when I wrote and had the structure, I actually went in and used AI at the end to give me pointers like, cut this is too fluffy, like almost having you back in the day reading my stuff going, don't like this, or me reading yours. Except
with your calendar. For me to you, it was calendar. For you to me, it was content.
So that sort of thing, and used it as a buddy to go chop this off. You repeated yourself in these places. So it was cool to get it out that way. But ever since, the video and the book have been the best sort of client getting assets because they watch those, and that's where the nurture begins.
It's interesting. Can I like take inspiration from that and kind of go left field a little bit? And it's just relevant to me because the training we had in the community yesterday, is basically I keep asking myself the question, like, how can I make this simpler? How can I make this simpler? Right. And so in regards to the thing that triggered me saying this is kind of the whole getting clients thing. Because for me, I've like already hit my goals this year. So now it's kind of like, how far can it go before the end of the year? Right. That kind of stuff.
Amazing.
And one of my favorite quotes is, the quality of your life is determined by the quality of your questions. Right. And so one of my favorite questions to ask myself every day is like, how can I make this simpler? How can I make this simpler? Right. And so that was kind of the thesis of what I taught yesterday is I am more or less, we're like running very similar, I don't want to call it acquisition, but just models, let's say. Yours is obviously a lot deeper because, you know, I've only been doing it for a handful of months. You've been doing it for a while. But like I more or less taught the crew in the group call is I'm sending people to basically two places, and it's just like this infinity loop. They just, if they go to one place, they see the other. If they go to that place, they see the other. And the two places I'm sending them are to my email list, in which case they, you know, get the 15-day welcome series, blah, blah, blah. Or I'm sending them to something I'm calling the Goodie Bag.
Oh, nice.
Fun, right? Because in my mind, I was like, what problem am I trying to solve with this? And the main problem was I've been trying to play the lead magnet game and, hey, get people to the list, but always felt like very isolated, like one island here. Hey, you know, checklist, say this word, and then you go through this funnel. Or it's like, you know, comment this word and you go to my VSL, or comment this word and you go to YouTube. And it's just like island, 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 island. And I'm like, I have no idea. This feels really messy. I have no idea how to manage any of this. Right. And so through the classic, like, how do I take care of clients? I genuinely believe like my number one skill is just making the moment you pay me, everything's ridiculously clear. You know exactly what the next point is. I'm redundant on purpose. Like I say all these things. And so I just walked them through. The Goodie Bag is just a Notion page where at the top, I'm like, if you get stuck, you know, message me. But what it is it's a curated collection of stuff I want people to see. So there's like 3 free resources on there, and those are in green. There's like 4 or 5 low ticket products. Those are in blue. And then there's go deeper with me, like go to YouTube, look at my offer doc, and that's in yellow, right? But now every single time anybody comment this word, and I took inspiration from you, Goodie Bag. So it's like, hey, I'm talking in a post about flow or something, like comment the word flow and I'll send you the flow formula, which is like a low ticket free, or like a free thing, right? But instead of just sending them to flow formula, an individual thing, I'm going to do the mini chat, and the mini chat will be like, and I stole this from you, is, yo, in the first message, just to confirm this is what you want.
Yeah.
Right. They say yes. And then it's like, great, go here. And then they go to the Goodie Bag, and I have a video on there. I'm like, rest assured, your resources on this page. I just can't be asked to have 16 different funnels. So I'm giving you a bunch more stuff.
Amazing. Amazing.
Right. And so it's, I mean, I literally just finished it a few days ago, so I got to test it. But anytime somebody goes on a landing page, for instance, like, you know, in the email sequence, as an example, they click on, hey, I don't want to wait till tomorrow. I want the next email in 4 minutes, right? Goes to a skip page. It's like, hey, check your inbox. It's coming in 4 minutes, whatever. But now at the bottom of every single one of those pages, it's like, while you're waiting, and then it's a button to the Goodie Bag.
Yeah, that's amazing. I mean, now what you would be doing, which is awesome, is like you could create a straight line between the Goodie Bag and your content.
Every time.
Topic out of there, right? Content, send them back over there, and it starts to make sense. Which is sort of how I take the book. I love the analogy of the Goodie Bag because it's like picking the bits that you like, where for me in the book now, like ever since I released it, all my content is just picking little sentences or chapters or concepts from there, putting them out, and then going, DM me book, playbook, or whatever.
Yeah.
And it makes it so much easier because I'm like, I'm just talking about this one thing over and over and over. But the Goodie Bag approach is also fun because you're like, oh, I came in for this thing, but I'm finding another little bit. I'm going down this rabbit hole in the Goodie Bag. And, you know, as kids, you find that toy you didn't know you wanted.
Yeah, it's kind of like the invitation route. Like I think you put this in your community WhatsApp or whatever, I'm going to butcher it, but like for versus from, or for versus, whatever.
Yeah.
And instead of saying like, hey, buy this thing, urgency, scarcity, blah, blah, blah. Like, again, my community is 3 months old. So in the beginning, I wanted to do like wait lists, open doors, closed doors model, all that sort of stuff. Really quickly, I was like, okay, the urgency is real and the scarcity is real. I still don't like it. Like it just doesn't, I wasn't doing any gimmicks or anything. I was like, hey, there's 8 spots, 7 of them are filled. There's 1 spot left. Type like that actually happened. But I'm over here being like, I feel like I'm being more of a slave to the model than just what feels right.
Yeah, I love that.
And so like the goodie bag to me was like, I don't want 16 different funnels, so I'm going to give them 1. Yeah, okay. One of my favorite quotes was from the community we were both in, Dan Bolton's. I think I'm going to paraphrase, but it's something like, if you want to attract high agency people, presume that they know what to do.
Yeah.
Right. And I hate assumptions and that sort of stuff. But to me, in my mind, and what I taught with the goodie bag to the crew, I'm like, this goes with anything. I'm just using the goodie bag as an illustration. But in every single resource, if you just nail the basics, you are massively going to increase goodwill and chance at conversion. Like basically increase your surface area for luck, right? And it was, if you can rely on a video, because that gets your tone of voice, that gets your body language, it is not AI produced, like all that sort of stuff. So you're just killing the skepticism machine immediately.
Yeah.
You keep it less than 3 minutes. Hey, here's what this page is for, right? You landed on this page. Here's how to use it appropriately. Like literally giving instructions. Then you take the key elements from that video and you put it into 3 or 4 bullet points, because people consume differently. You put the bullet points directly below the video. Here's how to be successful on this page, right? And then the final one is literally like color coding, right? What was that? Oh yeah, call outs was the last one I said, because I love Notion. I think call out is my favorite freaking flash thing ever. Like I put a call out in front on the top of every single page I ever produce, because it's like, yeah, it's literally like different color and it says purpose or why this exists or what to do. And it's like, great. What I've effectively done, whether I'm right or wrong, it's what I want to do. So what I've effectively done is like, oh, I've eliminated the whole engine now. I don't have to manage that anymore. It manages itself. All I have to do is focus on acquisition.
Yeah.
How can I get more eyes on this page? And then I can just leave it.
Yeah, exactly. And that goes back to the whole dad thing and the light bulb. Like you found your own in this way, by going, this is what I like, this is what I don't like, here's how I'm going to set it up. And I think it's important because like so many people get caught up into, oh, he's doing it this way. And I love that you said, I sort of borrowed this from you, but it didn't fit. And then I created 15 of these things my way. Like, I love that because so many people are like, hey, I tried this and it didn't work. Or even with myself, I had a mentor tell me, do this, the whole funnel thing. And I was like, okay, let me just try. And this was a month ago. And I went down all these different routes and things, like hired someone once off to look at my funnel, bird's eye view. Like, dude, you're missing this. And I went in this spiral, followed his lead. I'm used to like making about 2 to 4K on digital products a week for the last 3-4 months or whatever. All of a sudden I'm at 0, or like I'm at odd ones sprinkling here and there. And I went, what? I messaged the dude. He's like, you got to hold through, bro. I'm like, dude, there's no holding through here. Like, this is my jam.
Yeah, it was producing 3 to 4K. And then I added a bunch of your complexity and now it's weird.
Yeah. So then I just went, okay, let me try this on somebody else who's sort of like the person he was describing. Absolute banger, worked like a charm. So the other day I pulled it off and I went back to my roots, to what was working, and I'm back to the same numbers. And I was just like, oh my God, this is insane. But obviously for me, there was a fun element and a learning element going. I want to try out of natural, like sheer curiosity to dabble into something. But the fact that I could have stayed and gotten hurt, quote unquote, is what so many other people do because guru A or B said so. It's like, no, take what you want. Like, who's Austin Kleon who says steal like an artist? Like, take the bits that you want, marinate in them, and then use them rather than like copy literally what someone else does.
Yeah.
I love the,
I didn't want to cut you off. Just like philosophically, I think you're nailing it with that. And it doesn't like you, I don't think you and me look at anything of being like right or wrong. Like I need to be right or wrong. Like you hiring that guru, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but my guess is like, I'm curious about said thing. Let me try said thing. But you're not attaching stakes to it. You're not like, let me try said thing to make 10K in products weekly.
Yeah.
It's the knowledge is good enough. And I just don't, I'm trying to find my footing in how I like speak about that online. Cause I just genuinely believe it's like, I don't know, maybe you and I are attracted to each other this way because we just think alike in this regard. But I find a lot of people come into my circle now and just honestly think that I'm thinking differently. And I'm like, yeah, but I'm thinking simply. Like I'm not if simple is different, then yes, I'm thinking differently. But like, it's taken me a lot of failure and stuff to be like, yo, you admire Jacob, you don't need to be Jacob. You admire this guy, you don't need to be this guy. And so all the stuff that feels really good now in the last couple of weeks for sure, if I were to go back and analyze my own work, I'd be like, yeah, that's 3 different people's systems combined into one under the guise of me asking the question, do I like this?
Man, honestly, like to that exact point, I think one of your other questions was like, what is working and what isn't? So it's a really nice segue. Like I've seen a lot of banter now about, oh, group coaching is going to die and this model's not working and this person quit and this person shifted. And I'm like, just observing, you know, I don't want to name drop or anything. I'm sure people watching or yourself also know or have heard of this stuff in our little bubble. But it was like, do I inject fear now and panic and follow because of this trend setting thing? Or go the other way and actually really double down on what resonated? So many people like were saying this worked for me this year and that, and you know, you can almost see a week delay and then people just copy the model.
Oh, 100%. Yeah.
For me, it was literally like I found my dissertation from my master's, which was predicting subscription services pre-Spotify.
God, send me a copy of that, please.
I'll send you it. It was like the digital manifesto to some subscription revolution, or like this stoner uni day stuff. And I read it and I was like, oh my God, we live in a subscription economy. I've been so passionate about it since my music days, you know, blah, blah, blah. Why don't you double down on subscriptions? Like the word subscription. Don't call it weekly recurring because so-and-so said so. Like subscriptions are literally rented land. We subscribe to anything. Contrary to popular belief, I always loved my low ticket, email marketing, this, that, whatever. So I'm like, go back to foundations, go back to flow. Reading your book, that sort of kicked in as well. I was like, you can get someone to say yes today and turn $9 into $20,000 or whatever. If that is something you enjoy doing, why don't you go back to that? And everyone was going, no, don't do low ticket, this, that. One thing that really worked lately was putting people on a trial. So in the community, instead of selling them a 5K piece for the year or 100 a week and, you know, all of these models that are now common practice, I'm going, if I was to buy a car, I would want the keys for 3 days and I wanted to do a test drive. Otherwise, I'm not buying the car. Buying a house, same thing. I want to go in, I want to do the viewing, I want to get a taste of it. So like you said before, there's so much crap out there and so many people making claims and things, you know, about the industry. So video cancels all of those beliefs that may come. Just open the doors, get someone in the community for $9. So like $1 a day.
Yeah.
And if they don't like it, they can go away. And my acquisition cost went down. And my community members like almost doubled in a quarter instead of a year.
Yeah, when you did the trial thing, I was kind of interested with that. I think it's a little early for me, but I look at that and I'm like, what is the best selling point I could possibly offer? It's the experience itself. Like why would you do a heavy lift and say, here's what's inside here? It's like, no, pay $29. It's usually $200 a week. Like pay $29 to just see if you like it or not. $29, you get 7 days, and then the following week, auto build to 200. And if you're not on top of it, then yeah, I'm keeping that money because you're an adult and whatever. If you cancel after that, then it's fine. Go. It's fine.
Yeah. And what does Spotify and Netflix do every month? Here's a bunch of new movies we have. This is what's coming next month. So you take that. My dissertation, like 10 years ago, me schooled me now. Mm-hmm. They come in for $9. They see a giant sign that says, here's what's happening this week and next week.
Yeah. I kind of want to do that with Instagram stories a little bit. It's like, here's what's going down in the community. Again, I like it. To me, that's kind of more of a time allocation thing rather than it is, creation production thing. But it's interesting. Like the thing I taught yesterday, right? And maybe I'm kind of struggling with like the gatekeeping thing as well. Because to me, I look at my type of client and I'm like, I do have high agency clients. I'm not babysitting anybody, like nobody, right? And so that is so deeply determined by the boundaries and constraints you put on who you let join you, right? Mm-hmm. And so, marketing being the very front face, like right now I'm literally on Instagram, and I'm teaching this next Tuesday. If this goes live before September 2, by all means buy a ticket because there's a few left. But like, I am not an Instagram guru at all. Don't know shit. Only been doing it for like 2 months, but I kind of stole from Dan Bolton a little bit. I kind of stole from like one other person. And then I was just like, what am I willing to test? Right. And so for $5 per ad per day, I've had 3 ads running. I've gone, and they're not ads, they're just boosting organic posts that have performed well, quite literally, right? It took me about 2 minutes to find the right audience, like, hey, 25 to 45, interest in digital marketing, entrepreneurship, and then just boosting a post I already know did well organically. Like when you only have 800 followers and one post gets like 15 likes and the rest of them are getting 4, it's like, sweet. Okay, this is a guaranteed winner right here. Mm-hmm. Boost that one. And that's the whole freaking plan, right? And in the last 30 days, I've been averaging like 108 followers a day.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And I think I'd have to check the math. Like literally every time I am writing about it, it's like 6 more people come in. But it's one of those things where it's like, the last I checked yesterday, quality people, these are who's left over. Because my VA is actually, she'll go into the list every single day of who follows. If they don't have a profile photo, they're gone. If they don't have any posts, they're gone. If they follow like 6,000 people and only have like 100 followers, they're gone, right? And like, so this is what's left over. For the what's left over, it's like 33 cents a person.
But are you banking, just from my understanding, you're boosting, you're growing, but are you monetizing on the ads or waiting for the high ticket?
So yeah, so this is the test, right? So that was just literally like, what is the lever I can pull to build an audience that's predictable? Right?
Oh, I see. Yeah.
So the whole point with this was, how low cost can I get this? And then how quality do these people look, right? One other engine off the back of it is just an action, is that my VA will send one of like 5 or 6 welcome messages to each person. And it's like every single follow is like, yo, thanks for the follow, welcome to the madness, or thanks for the follow, what resonated with you, blah, 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 right? So response rate is probably out of 800 people, maybe it's like 10%, something like that, good. Which is fine.
Cold traffic as well.
Yeah, and then I pick up the conversation. If somebody responds, then I start speaking to them, right? Like, so it's very not, quantity driven, not like AI funnel driven. I'm not selling in the DMs, all that sort of stuff. I'm calling it kind of like goodwill growth, because I tend to be more patient than most people, and I find that if I'm the one person in their day who's literally just like, yo, you look freaking awesome, and it's not connected to a transactional feel, I'm willing to ride that out. So
which you've always had.
Yeah. So to answer your question now, I finally announced the book I wrote publicly, and of course I could give it away for free. Of course I could. But what I did was I strapped $1 on it in a convert kit thing, because, and then I am now, I mean, I only just boosted it yesterday, but like for $3 a day, I'm trying to test, can I get this, right? And obviously I expect the conversions to be really low. I expect like the, you know, profile visit cost to be way higher than, you know, my profile visit cost right now is like 16 cents and follower cost is like 33 cents. Isn't that wild? Isn't that wild?
That is wild.
So I expect the book thing to be like, you know, profile visit after one day, it's like $1 and no one's converted yet, right? $3 is nothing. But I want to run that and specifically intentionally like repel people who are offended by any offer whatsoever. So I'm hoping that I get unfollows, and then perfect case scenario is like, it's this kind of dividing line where someone looks at that and they're not offended and they say follow. Someone looks at that and they're like, I do need more flow and resilience, I'm going to buy this. And someone looks at that as like, I'm offended, I'm leaving.
Yeah.
And in the middle, it's like, if I can get 3 people to buy it every day, I'm break even for a test. And it's
exactly what I'm doing now, which again was a light bulb without the book. Obviously, I give the book for free, but I went, hold on. I was running the little ads similar to you, but running them to subscribe to the email. Now, all I did was switch to the thank you page. So I don't want your email. I want you to buy. So what was, I had my offer doc thing for $100 back in the day. Then it was like 49. Same product, just $9 now, because I just want you to impulse buy it. So when you run the ads, you go straight to the thank you page. If you buy, now you're a customer.
Yeah. How long and how's it producing so far?
So I'm running $5 a day as a test.
Yeah.
And I'm getting about a sale a day. So I'm if I make one sale a day, I'm $4 in profit.
You're in the black, man. Yeah, exactly. Then it's just,
then I went,
switch the dials on $5 or not.
Yeah. And then I went, hold on a minute, add an order bump, add some templates to the doc, then add an upsell. So now if I get a sale from one person who buys everything, which is, I'd say 11% of viewers buy everything, that's $138
from $5
instead of $5.
Yeah. LTV.
And that was just maximizing what you did. And all, like, obviously I've got the engineering background and all of that. I just couldn't help nerd out. I created added a Facebook pixel to go, anybody who bought or got to the checkout page, retarget them.
Yeah.
And give them the $5 again. You know, here's my $9, sorry. Like, honestly, the costs aren't as low as yours, but I was just like, if it's 30 cents, I'm really happy with that. You know, per click and all of that. And then the other bit was literally go to Zuckerberg and go, bro, yeah, we're boosting it that way like you described. Yeah. Just have a keyword, comment keyword.
ManyChat, off we go.
And now I take you to the thank you page and not the opt-in page.
Yeah, so is this the Swipe My Mojo thanks page?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Nice.
Yeah, so that was like, I was like, oh my God, this is free lunch money. Thank you, Zucky, for paying for lunch.
Yeah.
But an awesome little thing, like, and I think we both sort of got into the ads world at the same time.
Yeah,
but I'm having
this idea. Yeah.
So much fun with it on Instagram now, because it's like $5 there, 138 there. But the trial worked well, because I go $9, $29, $99, and then $9 again for the trial. So a lot of people end up grabbing the doc for $9 and the trial for $9.
Man, do a doodle on that, because it'll look like this weird, like, Hadrian's Wall type vibe.
Yeah, like a bell.
Yeah, seriously, it is like a bell curve. No, here's what it is. It's a bell curve, and then each end is like a handle on a jump rope, and now you got them.
Yeah. With little 9s on it.
Yeah, little 9s on the handles. Each handle's $9, and now you're gonna jump rope with me. Yeah, what I hope if anybody watching like hears this though, everything we're talking about is actually, I wouldn't call it not in the norm, but it's just all this evidence you've created past where it's like, okay, I can test this. I know a little bit enough to like actually pay attention to what's working, what's not. It's not all that, but like full disclosure, everything you're describing right now is still like 2 months away for me because I don't even have a pixel going right now. Cause it's like,
you don't need one, right?
Yeah, I have not retargeted at all yet. That is literally like, okay, once I turn said dial on just the initial boosted reel or post or whatever, it's like, okay, what would increase the likelihood? Like I basically dial that so well that the cost can get down. So in a perfect world, I talk about the book or whatever. I use a word that ManyChat can send the book, that kind of thing. Bob's your uncle. But like after a few weeks of that, and spending probably less than like $200 to find out the answer. It's like, how can I drive this from right now $1 per profile visit to say 75 to 50 cents a profile visit, and then it's cost me like 20 cents to get to the check, or like 30 cents to get to the checkout page, and then 50 cents for someone to convert. All these crazy numbers. I'm just like I'm trying to be Rain Man right now, so I'm gonna stop while I'm behind. But like you do that for a few weeks, and then it's like, okay, now I'm going to introduce retargeting. And everyone's trying to do the whole thing all at once. Like you don't need a Facebook pixel. Like you should intentionally be making a mess to be like, what mess is worth like cleaning up?
Yeah, I had no idea what that was a month ago until I went, well, obviously SEO and sort of our background and whatever, you're like, I need to be able to track this thing. What is the Google Analytics equivalent of the ad tracker? Pixel. Oh, okay, great. But you just have to break it down. And I went, this sounds really complicated, but actually it's, if you know who's getting to this page, just put them in this envelope for me.
100%. I also just like despise Meta because of how ridiculously
it is annoying. Yeah.
Which is also why I do boosted reels just directly in Instagram, because it's like, if I want to actually pull a lever to extend reach, the last place I want to do that is in Meta Business Suite, right?
Oh my God, yeah.
Again, simplicity, simplicity is king. We heard this from Bolton, and I say this to my crew all the time. I steal it like absolutely 100%. Is like, everything works. Find what works for you, and for you. And this will be a good thing to end on because my camera's gonna combust in a couple seconds. But
like hungry or something.
I know, but like think of your whole journey with it too. Is literally like the moment you were already trying to lead into, hey, I'm gonna be a dad soon. Things are gonna change. But you didn't fully know until you became a dad, and probably like 3 to 6 weeks after, and you're like, oh shit, like I really need to ask myself some better questions to decide what I want to do.
Yeah.
Right. And the point, I think, and I want to give you final word, but my final word is like, it's a progression. Like just take one little thing at a time and then make a mess with it, and then evaluate it and be like, did you like that mess? Is it worth your time to make it sharper and cleaner? Was it a complete total failure? Sweet. You spent about 6 minutes on it. Go make another mess. Right. And then test that. But I'd be curious, like how the person who taught me tie a bow on your packaging and all that was you. So how would you tie a bow on this thing? And when can we have these again? Because I want to have these like every 2 days.
Yeah, I think it's lovely that we're recording it, and thanks for the sort of push as well. It's good. For me, like the bow tie was yes to what you said, asking better questions. Asking better questions meant, what's the one thing that I always had in me that sparked the fire was my values. So I asked myself, what are my values that I cannot walk away from, regardless of what it is, regardless of who pushes me away or what thing I've tried. Number one's family, right? So if I got to be a dad, what does it take? So better question. And then inside of those values, regardless of how much money I make or whatever I do, I cannot walk away from marketing. I can walk away from sales. I can walk away from, oh my God, this cat. I can walk away from XYZ, you know, bad family member, hustle, you know, DMs. I could never walk away from marketing. So I was like, what part of marketing? Email, creativity, and brought back the values that made me me and just doubled down.
Yeah, you're getting back to the sandbox. Marketing's a sandbox to you. You're just uncovering toys and bearing stuff and all that. Like,
yeah. And other people hate it. They're like, man, I want to, you know, some people are really good at delivery or coaching or sales calls, like whatever it is that sparks. You don't have to learn marketing because somebody said so. But to me, it was like, if that is your value, ask better questions, follow the heart, and just keep doing it in smaller, slower increments. And I really slowed down to pick it apart. And I think the biggest takeaway for me in this conversation is, can you have a straight line between the questions you ask, your values, your offer, and your content efforts, if you are in this sort of business, that all leads to that one thing, which in my world has always been a philosophy, a big idea, something that you want to pursue in whatever shape or form.
Yeah. And like, what is the vehicle in which you want to present it, right? Like, when it comes to, can I make this simpler? Kind of a sub question is always like, what is the lowest lift way for me to accomplish my goal? Right.
I love it.
And so for so many people, they're like, I'm not good on video. And I'm like, I could care less about if I'm good on video or not. If a 2-minute video is the lowest lift possible, rather than me like write a set of instructions, I'm going to record the video. Right?
Yeah.
Like, perfection is not in my vocabulary. It's literally like, did I get it done or not? Right. Did it serve the goal or not? Did it serve the values or not? So I think that is an absolutely amazing sentiment, because you know me, I'm going all in on big ideas and core values. Like,
amazing.
The more you lean on those as the years progress, we're not even thinking in decades anymore, because AI is speeding all this stuff up. But the more your big ideas and your core values, and you upskill those instead of de-skill and say, hey, write this for me, you will have no problem making money. It's just semantics.
Yeah. No, this was awesome, dude. And I'm excited to do this again.
Yeah, likewise. Let me, I'll stop the recording. Thanks to anybody who watched this. If you want to reach out to Jacob, I'll put all his info in the description. He might post this on his YouTube and put all my stuff in the description. You'll find the goodie bag for me. You'll find all the $9 trial for Jacob. Like, it's all good stuff. But yeah, we'll do this again. And yeah, thanks for watching, everybody. I'm going to kill the recording now.